Hello everyone. Welcome back to another YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a life update video, and I know lately I was uploading stuff from my Patreon account to my public YouTube account so that people could see some of that. So maybe some of those videos were a little bit confusing because they were all kind of out of order. I know that there were several apartment moves in there, as well as some holiday reveal videos where I uploaded those years ago on my Patreon account, and then I just made them public a couple months ago because I was just like, I don't know if I'm going to keep this Patreon going. So I've been getting messages from you all about your confusion of when these videos were originally made. So yeah, those videos are a little bit older, but I wanted to come on and make a new video updating you all a little bit on my life, what's been going on with me, as well as my reactions to some of the things that are going on around the world right now, especially here in the United States. It's crazy to think that I created my Positive Talk series in 2020, which was an election year, and here we are again in 2024, another election year, and Trump is running for president again. And of course, we just got the news that Biden is stepping down and Harris is replacing him on the ballot, which honestly, I was a little worried. The presidential debate, Biden didn't really stand up that well against Trump. Didn't think Trump did a good job either, but Biden scared me a little bit because I know that we're gonna really need a strong candidate to run against Trump. I'm hoping Harris is the one because, I think the Democrats understand what is at risk. I know that for me being a content creator, especially an LGBT content creator where I'm kind of putting myself out there for the world, I have received a lot of crazy messages over the years from people who call themselves Trump supporters. I don't really label them as Republicans because I feel like Trump supporters are a whole nother level. But for me, I know that I have to give it all that I've got. I'm using my platforms to educate people on why Harris is the person that they need to vote for. I know that there are so many different things going on in the world. I know that there are things that are dividing us as Democrats on whether or not we want to support her. But honestly, looking at Project 2025 that the Republicans have drafted scares me to death. So that's been something that's been weighing on me a lot. Being someone also that has recently launched my own business, I know that I've been coaching for a while, but now I'm solely living off of the income of being a coach because I'm not doing social media stuff as much anymore. So I don't have brand deals coming in where brands are paying me to market their content across my platforms. I'm really just putting all my energy and effort into my coaching, which I'm launching a workshop here at the beginning of August that I'm super excited about. It's meant to help people who are currently working in jobs that aren't providing them with the happiness or the money that they want to be making in today's world. And because I've jumped full force into the entrepreneur thing, I wanted to share and create a workshop that helped other people see that it's not as hard as people make it out to be. There are some really simple ways to make money. And even if you started as a side hustle and turn it into your full-time job, it's kind of what I did. I had a full-time job and I was doing coaching on the side. Then, of course, for those of you that have followed me over the years, you know that my company merged with another company, which meant that I was laid off or let go because the department I worked for had to downsize and they decided that I was one of the people that they were going to get rid of. So it's been a journey. And I think that for those of you who have watched me on Positive Talks, I've shared a lot of my authentic journey there. But I think that for those of you that have followed me here on YouTube, there's been kind of a gap in my content that I've been creating here, and I wanted to kind of do a little bit of an update to share with you that it's been a journey. And for me, I have learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I've been reading a lot. Being a business owner is a lot sometimes. I definitely did not go to school for business, so everything when it comes to growing a business is new to me, and I'm learning as I go, which that means sometimes it's a slow journey. Sometimes there are things that I can lean on when it comes to my skill base that I can use to my advantage. But for the most part, I've been doing things lately to kind of grow that. So in my other video, I talked about how I graduated from the Jay Shetty Life Coaching Certification School. That was something that as soon as it came out in 2020, I knew I wanted to do, just because I feel like I align with a lot of the things that Jay Shetty says and does with his content. Of course, he was a content creator as well. I met him at a couple YouTube events, but as soon as he put it out, I was like, coaching is definitely something that I want to do with my life, so I need to get certified, and graduated in December, did the business launchpad in January, and now I'm signed up for the Tony Robbins and Dean Masterminds group, which is a phenomenal platform when it comes to someone who is still learning all the ins and outs of running a business, especially one that is based in the knowledge realm, where your products are you teaching or coaching people. So that has been a journey. I have connected with so many phenomenal people in the progress of growing my business, and lately I have connected with lots of coaches from the Jay Shetty program, and I launched my own community on the Heartbeat platform, which originally I was doing a positive space platform on Heartbeat. That kind of came to an end in 2023, and I launched this new community on the Heartbeat platform here in 2024, which honestly, it has been such a phenomenal space for me because I've been able to connect with fellow coaches. I have been on endless calls with coaches, helping them to kind of get their feet wet. A lot of them are brand new coaches. They just graduated the program. Luckily, I came into the Jay Shetty program with several years of knowledge of running my own coaching business, and I was just adding that certification to my long list of qualifications for being a coach. So I've gotten to meet a lot of people who are fresh on their journey and are looking for the first steps that they need to be taking when it comes to launching their coaching business. And luckily, I've gotten to be a part of that for a lot of them, and it's been really fun to kind of work with people who have the same passions as I do, as well as they're all mostly empaths, and they're people who want similar things that I want. Whereas before, I feel like a lot of the people that I worked with when I talked about being a coach or wanting to help people, it was something that they're like, so how does that even work? How do you get paid doing that? You can get paid doing that. Whereas now I'm on calls every single day with different people, hearing all the different ways that they want to help. And honestly, getting to meet so many different coaches gives me hope that we are pivoting in the right direction, because I mean, I've paid for several coaches myself to get me to where I am today, but seeing so many different coaches from so many different niches or backgrounds out there wanting to make a positive change in people's lives and wanting to help people move towards their goals and passions and authenticity in life, it just makes me realize that I'm not alone in this battle. Because when I first started my coaching business, when I was doing this YouTube content stuff, I felt like I was very much alone on my journey. There are supporters, but there weren't people who were like peers that understood what I stood for and what I was trying to aim for. But now I've got that, and it's been phenomenal. And getting to be different coaches' coach has been really nice, because I get to share with them the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years of coaching, as well as see some of their new perspectives that I didn't personally discover on my own journey, has really just added so much to the things that I can offer as a coach, which is really nice. But yeah, I've definitely been going full force into my business because it is something that brings me to life. I've really enjoyed it. I've tried to film lots of videos here for my YouTube channel, and when I filmed them, I felt like they weren't aligned with the message that I wanted to put across. And I've kind of been going through the process of like rediscovering what I want to give to the world as a content creator, whether it's more aligned with my coaching, whether it's diving back into sharing my personal journey, because I feel like a lot has changed in the past 4 years where I stopped making YouTube videos. Yeah, that's a journey. I want to make sure that my content is still authentic and real to me, but also I've changed a lot, and the direction that I want to take my content is a little bit different than what you all are probably used to. I know that I've had conversations with coaches about I want to kind of lean more towards the coaching stuff than I do sharing my own personal journey when it comes to being part of the LGBT community. Because one thing I noticed was in the professional world, a lot of people just saw me as the gay content creator. They were struggling to see me as a coach. And when you are someone in a minority group, it is hard to swallow the pill of the reason people want to work with you is because you provide a perspective. And it would be okay if me being a coach was the main focus and me being LGBT was just a plus. But it seems like a lot of spaces where I've been asked to speak or participate in a professional setting have really been focusing around my LGBT status, which for a lot of you, if you're in the professional world and this has come up for you, you may understand where I'm coming from. But in a lot of instances, because LGBT is attached to who I am, a lot of times it makes the settings that I'm in not as professional as I would like them to be. Some of the questions that come up are questions that would never come up in other scenarios if I wasn't gay. And it seems like people assume that just because I'm an LGBT content creator, I just happen to be gay and a coach, that certain things are okay to bring up in conversation. And for me, it's not that I'm ashamed of being gay. I am definitely very proud of who I am, and I have been on a long journey of self-acceptance and self-love. So it has nothing to really do with that. It's just I have so much more to offer the world than just being gay and just telling my story. I hoped that with all the positive talks that I've done and all the interviews that I've had with all these phenomenal guests, that I would be building a platform for myself to be someone who is known for bringing other people's authenticity to the stage, as well as being someone who asks great questions and can dive deep into conversations where we're talking about very meaningful topics. Because I do very much so believe that we should all educate ourselves. And I spend a great deal of time educating myself on world events, as well as events happening here in the United States, as well as what's happening here in the state of Virginia and the city of Richmond, which is where I live. In a lot of instances, it seems like the only focus other people want to put on me is shining the rainbow light on me. And so I've been questioning, is it because of the content that I make? Maybe I need to be a little bit more verbal about not wanting to have conversations around that topic. I know that we just finished up Pride Month, which was this past June. That's like the really big time that a lot of gay content creators get reached out to by brands or people with podcasts or news outlets, and they want to hear our opinion about Pride. And honestly, this year was very different for me. I don't know if it's because I haven't been so involved as I usually am with my content creating, or if things have been shifting, but it was a little bit scary because even spaces like Target or other retail stores that normally would sell a lot of Pride things on or during Pride Month, I didn't see as many. So my boyfriend Kevin wanted like an LGBT Pride shirt, and I was like, yeah, let's go get one. We can just travel around Richmond and we'll go to a couple stores and see if we can find one that you like. And not a single store had one. I eventually found one that like special orders or prints their own, and I had one printed for him. But it was a little bit concerning that a lot of the spaces that were LGBT in the past couple of years were not showing as much support or putting merch out. I think that may have a little bit to do with the LGBT community being very defensive about the right or wrong way to promote Pride or promote allyship. But I think that it's really important for us to realize, like, going into an election year like this with someone as scary as Trump running for the Republican ticket, it's really important for us to create strong relationships with brands and companies and show them that we are grateful for their support, even if it's imperfect. I think there's a lot of conversations that need to be had about what imperfect allyship looks like. If a brand is trying, and being someone who's worked within a large corporate company and being inside working my ass off to make sure that my company promoted and stood up for the LGBT community, I know that internally it is really a lot of work to get a company to say, okay, yes, we'll change our logo during Pride Month. Yes, we'll show support. Yes, we'll send out emails. Yes, we'll do this. So there's a lot of pushback from a lot of LGBT people outside of the companies who don't believe that companies are doing as much as they should be. But knowing what it's like to be on the other side and fighting so hard and doing all that you have to do to get your company to support the cause, I think it's really important for us to realize that if a company's doing it in a positive way, they just aren't doing it the best way. We have to be a little bit more cautious, because there will come a time where they're just like, it's not worth the trouble, it's not worth the hassle. I know that there's been a lot of pushback from the Republican Party as well as other conservative, closed-minded people to not support the LGBT community, and there have been people who, and there have been companies that have stopped showing their support. One, because the LGBT community is not grateful for it, which I don't think that should be the only reason a company supports a cause like the LGBT community and equality. But when the conservatives on the other side are also pushing and attacking, and the LGBT are pushing and attacking, it puts them in a situation where it's easier for them just not to do anything. It's easier for them not to show support. And we are still a minority group. We are still a group of people who are oppressed in a lot of spaces. Being someone who grew up in a rural area, when I moved to a city like Richmond and saw pride flags almost on every street that I drove down, it was a weight lifted off of my shoulder, and I was just a little bit more proud and a little bit more, or I should say a little less scared, because when I was living in the more rural area, the amount of Trump signs that I saw even after the election, it was a little bit concerning. And for me, I think that it's important for us to remember the progress that we need to be making on a regular basis. We can't rely solely on the President of the United States to be a supporter. We also have to take it locally as well as within the corporate realm of things. So when it comes to imperfect allies, I think we need to be a little bit more understanding. Instead of attacking, we should share insights on how it can be done better next time, or how it can be done around the calendar instead of just during June. I know that here in Richmond, we celebrate Pride in August and not just June. So there will be Pride events coming up here in August, which hopefully I'll be able to attend. But yeah, I guess that's a lot to say. I see that we're over 20 minutes of video right now, but I just wanted to kind of do an update video, give you guys a little bit of insight as to where I am right now, what I've been doing, and I guess what my thoughts are on all the things that are currently happening in the world and here in the United States. But hopefully you all have been doing well. Whatever you do, put your mental health first. If you need to work with a coach, I've now got a plethora of friends who are coaches. And of course, I'm always here for anyone who's interested in working with me. My main focus lately has been around helping people turn their passions into a business or into reality, bringing it from just your head out into the world so that we can share our gifts with people, because holding back and not living your most authentic life, not living in your passions, it's robbing you from joy as well as the world from your gifts. So like I said, reach out if you're interested in working with me as a coach. I do one-on-one stuff. I do workshops. If you're interested in being a coach, I've got a community for that. And I would highly recommend different certification programs if you're interested in talking to me about those as well, because I do truly believe that coaches will help us shift the world, because the more people who are connected to self, the more people that have been able to walk through their fears or heal their traumas, I think the world will just be a better place, because hatred is bred from fear, fear is bred from being scared of the unknown, and coaches help people with that. So if you need a coach, let me know. I'd gladly be your coach, but if you and I do not align, if you're not really looking for someone to help you with passion, I know a lot of different coaches that can help you out. But hopefully you've been doing well, and I will see you all soon. Bye.